Dear students, I hope you are all well and studying in your home. Last week, we discussed about the pollination and its types and different agents to facilitate the process of pollination. Today, we will be discuss about the fertilization. So before moving ahead, the process of fertilization, we have to know that what is fertilization. So fertilization is the process in which male gamete is fused with female gamete to form a zygote or ooze pair. Okay, ooze pair I'm saying because in plant we have to read about the fertilization in plants. So the gamete which is formed after the fusion of male and female gamete, the diploid structure is formed is known as oospore in case of plants. So this is the first definition of fertilization. Now, as we know that for making male gamete, we have to read about the structure of pollen grain. Okay, because in this pollen grain, pollen tube formed and it generate the male gametes. So first we discuss about the structure of mature pollen grain. So you can see here that it is a microscopic structure. Okay, it is not seen by naked eyes, and you can say that the pollen which you read in the structure of flower, okay, in which pollen grains are found. So pollen grains are very minute structure. Okay, so there are two types of uh, covering found in this. First is exine, as you can see here. This is exine and this is entine. Okay, so exine is the outermost covering which is thicker than the entine, and a generative and a tube nucleus also found here. Okay, generative nucleus is functional and it proceeds further to the germination of pollen tube from pollen grain. Tube nucleus generally provide nourishment to this pollen grain. You can see the pollen tube is germinating from this pollen grain. Okay, after the germination, it forms a tube nucleus is here as it is, and two male gamete. Okay, you can see here two male gametes are formed within this pollen tube. So because pollen male gamete is directly associated with the process of fertilization, so we have to read about the structure of pollen grain or male gamete also. Okay, now we move to the structure of ovule. Okay, so mainly ovules are of many types in plants, but we read about only two types of ovules mainly. First is orthotropous, which is straight one, and one is anatropous. Okay, you see the ls of ovule like this in your book also, because in plants or in angiosperm mainly anatropous, ana means opposite. Okay, this type of ovule is found. So moving to the structures, first you can see here integuments. Okay, these type of structures are known as integuments. Okay, you can see like that, and one generative nucleus also found here, and three antibodal cells. You can see here three antibodal cells and two synergids. Okay, these are two synergids, and one in between axle is found. Okay, this is axle. And embryo sac, this is known as, this structure inside the ovule is known as embryo sac, and the opening of ovule is known as micropyle. You can see here in last. Okay, this is micropyle. This is the entry point for the pollen grain. Okay, from which pollen grain enters inside the ovule. Okay, and just opposite to it, a chalaza or chalaza lind found. Okay, okay, after you see the structure of ovule, Now we move to the events in fertilization, or you can say the process of fertilization, how fertilization takes place in the plants. Okay, so I make this orthotropous ovule for better understanding, that you can easily understand it. So you can see here, we know that ovary has three parts: style, stigma. Okay, stigma, style, and ovary. So slender like neck like structure is style. Okay, uppermost structure is stigma, and lowermost structure is ovary, includes ovary. So you can see many pollen grains are sit on this stigma, and only one can germinate and fuse with the embryo sac. Okay, so you can see one pollen grain is germinating and it reaches to the embryo sac toward the micropylent. Okay, so this is an example of orthotropous ovule, and you can see two male gametes here. Okay, and same structure like that. This is opposite, so synergids will be here, and this is X cell and three antibodal cells. Okay, this is third one, antibodal cells, and one secondary nucleus. Okay, or embryo sac. So how this processes take place now? So this, from these two male gametes, okay, from these two male gametes, one is fused with X cell. Okay, one male gamete is fused with this X cell, and it forms zygote. And second nucleus, okay, second male gamete is fused with this secondary nucleus. Okay, secondary nucleus is 2n, so it forms endosperm. Okay, now two questions are always asked in high classes from 8 to 10, that what is double fertilization and what is triple fusion. So now you can easily understand that when one male gamete, okay, one male gamete, suppose n, plus it fuse with one X cell which is also haploid. Okay, you can write here male gamete, here X cell. Okay, so they formed 2n, 1 plus 1, 2n. So 1n plus 1n, they form 2n zygote. Okay, and in second fertilization, this is the first fertilization, and in second fertilization, what happened? One male gamete, okay, this male gamete is fused with secondary endosperm, which is 2n, so it is form a 3n. Okay, diploid structure which is known as endosperm. So that's why this is called a process in which two times fertilization takes place: double fertilization, and secondary nucleus is fused with one male gamete. So two polar nuclei is fused with one X cell. That's why it is known as triple fusion, because three-time fusion is take place. Okay, so you can see in briefly this process like this also. Okay, n plus n, egg plus male gamete, it forms zygote, and 2n plus n, second nucleus fused with male gamete, it forms endosperm. So mainly this is the process of double fertilization. Okay, and triple fusion. Hope you understand, and if you read from your book, and you can easily understand it. Okay, so in some plants there are no fertilization occur, and still fruit is formed. Okay, so how this process take place? So development of ovary without the fertilization is known as parthenocarpy. Okay, so after fertilization, this ovary is changed into fruit. Okay, and we will change into seed. So these are the difference in that. So there are many post fertilization changes also occur after that fruit is formed. So this is the full process of fertilization. I hope you will understand. If you have any still confusion, you can directly ask me. Okay. Or in next week we will discuss about the further processes or further changes what happen in the case of plants. We will discuss in next class. Thank you.